That's right. Put your hands together. Best Country 106. It's Jay and Laney J live. I'm Jay Wesley Lindley, your host. Laney J will be back on Monday, everybody. We're so excited. We miss Laney J, but we'll have her back in studio on Monday morning. Happy Friday out there. It's 13 minutes after 7 a.m., and I have a very special in-studio guest. I have the Republican candidate for Oklahoma State Representative, District 1, George Phipps. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm well.
Little wet this morning?
Good rain. We need it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right. Well, folks, of course, we've been getting to chat with those that are running for office during this political season. And we appreciate Mr. Phipps joining us this morning. Sir, let's start with those that may not know who you are. Introduce yourself and maybe a little bit of background for those.
Well, I'm George Phipps. Excuse me. I live in the Ringgold area. I have a cattle equipment business over there. I've been doing that for about 30 years. Married for 32 years, 3 kids, 5 grandkids. Let's get that right.
Well, I noticed how the grandkids came to mind first.
They do, yeah. Yeah, you should have those first. You wouldn't have kids.
I love that.
But, no, I serve on the McCurtain County Fair Board. I serve on the Ringgold Volunteer Fire Department as a firefighter and on the board. I'm an elder in my church over at Bypass Church of Christ. I tell people that service is just what I've always tried to do in my life, and that's what I'm going to continue to do, win, lose, or draw. So.
I love that. A man with a servant's heart. Well, let's talk about this race. What are some of the biggest issues, or maybe let's start here. Why did you decide to run this go-around?
Well, not that I'm going to knock anybody, because we've been blessed. We've had a truly mild campaign. Nobody's been ugly to each other.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate that. I think a lot of the public does appreciate that. But
you look out there and you think, who can represent Oklahoma? Who can represent Southeast Oklahoma? And I told people I think that's me. I've been through it. I've had ups, downs. I think some of those things you got to experience in life,
right?
To be able to represent the people and understand the people, and that's what I've always tried to do is just first and foremost relate to people and see if I can't put myself in their shoes and step back and say, hey, how can I help them?
Well, life experience is very important. In your life experience, what's some of the biggest things we're facing right now that you'd like to tackle at the Capitol?
Well, you see all kinds of things out there, but one of the things that's truly disappointing right now you see is education.
Last place.
It says we're last place.
That's what they say.
I'm not always politically correct, but I tell people I don't think we're that dumb.
I agree.
I think we just have some things we need to change. We'd love to see us get back to some basics. COVID ruined education, in my opinion. It made us think that we didn't have to have pen and paper.
Right.
We didn't have to actually do physical work. We could just do it on a screen. And if you look at the world, screens are not helping us.
Right.
They're slowly destroying us. Give us the inability to even focus on things. But let's get back to let's do some writing. Let's do some. I said 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic. We've kind of let those slip away and got to things that just aren't near as important.
Right. Well, and I think I remember hearing something just very recently about the state of Oklahoma or the education system in Oklahoma finding a way to limit the screens even used by the teachers and things of that nature because obviously state of Oklahoma got rid of the phones.
Yes.
And I think that was a step in the right direction.
That seems to have went well.
Yes.
Students and
exactly
and teachers are on board with that, it seems like.
Yep. And when it comes to the use, like you said, they've got the not iPads, but I forget the name of them right off the top of my head. Chromebooks, yeah. They got the Chromebooks in the class, even limiting the amount of time that the students are on those every class period.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it may be a little more difficult, but, we back in my day, we sat and we did our math on paper. We did our writing on paper, and you learn by repetition.
Exactly. Writing, showing your work. There was a reason why our teachers had us show our work.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, When it comes to small towns, I mean, that's what we are around here, just a bunch of small towns. And sometimes we can feel like we get lost at the capital. What is one way you're going to keep us a focus up there in the big city?
Well, you've heard other candidates say this, and, I've said it before, Oklahoma, typically for years, they tried to end it at McAllister.
Absolutely.
It doesn't end there. We are a vital part of Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's starting to take notice of us now, because of our resources we have and because we are the number one county for tourism in the state of Oklahoma.
Yep.
We had, in the last 16 months, we've had almost 5 million visitors to McCurtain County.
Wow. And that's a big thing considering you got the Oklahoma City Thunder, in Oklahoma City that's bringing it with the Western Conference Finals. That brought in a lot of people.
Yes.
So the fact that Broken Bow, Hochtown is still that big of a deal is it's a shining star here in Oklahoma.
And, a lot of people don't want you to say this, but, tourism is important. Tourism has kept us going, and tourism is going to help all small towns if we will embrace it. We get in the traffic and we hate it.
Right.
But if you look at the income from tourism, ask anybody associated with the fire department or, even our fair board.
Yes.
We get a lot of from tourism. So.
Well, I think most people realize, and even the ones that hate tourism, right? They hate everything that tourism has brought. They realize you can't just stick your head in the sand and try to ignore it and act like it's going to go away.
No.
So if we prepare for it in the best we can in 5-10 years, we'll be even better prepared than we are today because we hadn't been able to prepare like we should.
Yeah, I mean, and you ask about small towns. Let's embrace it. Let's. You might look at one business, might be a free plug for it, but look at Gasquatch.
Absolutely.
They're a tourist stop.
Yes, sir. I see we've got a lot of social media interaction for our station and show, and I see people all the time taking pictures and videos with that giant Sasquatch talking about, oh, man, this is so cool, such a cool place to see. And then, of course, the old cars and everything. So it's definitely a destination, and those little spots like that all over.
But every small town could actually benefit from that because we have tourists coming from every direction and going every direction now. They don't just come up 259 now.
Exactly.
Like I said, I live over in the Ringgold area, and I get a kick sometimes when I see them vehicles cross the line and head up Mary Highway because they're in for an adventure, truly.
Right. And, of course, you got the road construction that's coming in there. Now, some of that road has already been completed, and it's a really nice drive.
Yes.
Between Rattan and Broken Bow here. Excuse me. But you could tell that the part that is coming into Broken Bow here that is going to be completed hopefully in the near future, it's going to make that drive such a nice. And eventually, I think Highway 3 was supposed to be eventually like that all the way to Oklahoma City, right?
I believe so. And
that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
And if you look, we have an 8-year road plan most people don't know about,
okay.
Which is to expand the roads in our area. The money's already been allocated. That's one of my things that I want to do when I get there is make sure that we keep that money allocated for Southeast Oklahoma. I tell people I didn't ever think, the little bit of work on 259 South would benefit that much, but the road's a lot safer to travel down there.
Absolutely.
And we're fixed to start on Highway 37. Valiant was part of that too. It's been finished, but Highway 37's fixed to start or already started, and that's really going to benefit too.
I don't know who said it, but it was somebody on social media, a funny guy I follow over there in the Valiant area. He said, Valiant now has the nicest stretch of road in the county, if not in the state.
Probably so, and 2 stoplights.
Yes. I love it. That's hilarious. Well, when it comes to there's total of 3 Republican candidates, correct?
4.
Okay, sorry. There's 4 Republican candidates. What separates you from other Republican candidates? I know one of the answers, but I'll let you answer.
Well, I'm gonna go back to experience. Like I said, I've ran a business. I've been married. Not always, it wasn't always the easiest thing to do. Right. I bought a house, bought a little land. I tell people, just look at the experience and look at the things that you've had to go through I call it seasoning in life.
Right.
If you're seasoned, that matters a lot. And I'm going to throw this out there. People may accuse me of being a Bible beater, but God is important in my life, and I tell people He's what's going to lead me.
Absolutely.
If I don't let Him lead me, nothing's going to work out.
As for my house, we will follow Christ.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, continuing on, when it comes to campaigning, you've been doing some door knocking. May not do any door knocking this morning because of the rain. But no, you've been doing a lot of door knocking, a lot of talking to constituents, did some debates. What is it that you're hearing from the voters out there?
And it was made a hot topic early in this race was property taxes.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad I'm running for state rep and not county assessor because those fellows are taking a beating.
Yes, sir.
But, property taxes are really a big issue. And, and it is one of those, I guess you call it a burden, but I call it a duty. That's how we keep our schools. That's how we keep our county government. That's Votex libraries. That's how we keep all those things functioning. I would like to figure out a way to ease the burden, especially on seniors.
Yes.
And I have proposed, and I think it can happen, that if you're a first-time home buyer, you get 2 years of no property taxes, just to let you have a little footing time, because that's a difficult time when you step out there and buy a home and try to get a family started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First-time home buyer. That's a good one. And then seniors as well.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Now, here's one thing I said. One thing that I do know sets you apart when it comes to the race, and that's the fact that agriculture is a major focus of yours. And I wouldn't say we haven't heard anything about agriculture from any of the other candidates, but with that being a focus, I imagine you want to start immediately.
Oh yes, I mean, if you don't realize it, and people may not, but Oklahoma runs off of agriculture.
Yes.
I mean, we have lots of other things, but you drive Oklahoma. Oklahoma is an agricultural state, and brings in, billions of dollars. And I truly believe I have the experience to understand the importance of agriculture. This is one of the stories I throw out there. I grew up on a chicken and cattle farm. I've been in agriculture for 56 years because when I was born, my parents had nobody to watch me. So they hung bassinets in the chicken house and put me in those bassinets while they worked.
Wow.
So I tell people almost from day one, I have been agricultural based. And, I'm going to continue to support it because that's what supported me all my life and my family. And it supports a lot of people. And we're going to keep that first and foremost in a lot of things.
Now, is there agriculture and tourism? They can coexist, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see, I threw this out there a few times, why don't we have signs up somewhere that says, we serve Oklahoma beef? You see labels in the store that says Angus.
Right.
Let's have something that says, hey, proudly serving Oklahoma beef, proudly serving Oklahoma chicken.
I like that.
If you make bread, bread made from Oklahoma wheat.
Yeah, the Made in Oklahoma campaign is a pretty strong one.
Yes.
So why not add that?
That's right.
I love that. Okay. All right. Well, we have to. I know we're going to be running out of time here pretty soon. And again, I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Data centers, solar farms. These are hot topics in the area. Are those one and the same, or are they different? Can we enjoy one and not need the other, or do we need both, or do we not need either of them?
Well, I'm assuming there's probably a need for them.
Because if you're on this phone, there's probably a need for a data center.
Yeah,
okay, I got you.
We talked a little bit the other day. There is not a cloud anywhere. It's a data center that's holding your storage.
Yeah.
And I get tickled that people make posts against data centers using AI, which comes from a data center. They do have a lot of issues, but they're progressing. Technology will always make everything better. the newer data centers are getting better. Not that I want one in my backyard or even in McCurtain County.
Gotcha.
But, life is always advancing. I do not have a real favorable look at solar panels.
Okay.
Just studying, I haven't seen that they have that much value. A lot of times, by the time they pay for themselves, they're obsolete. And there's a lot of harmful chemicals. I tell people, you probably don't know it, but there's lead in every solar panel.
Okay.
We outlawed lead years ago in paint, but now we want to put it back in the world again. So, we sometimes don't think things out truly. The biggest thing I've found in politics, I think, is that we create a problem and then we try to solve it.
Right? That's a good way to put it. I've got this solution for a problem we don't have. Well, let's create the problem.
That's exactly right.
We'll both make millions. I love it. Well, we're about out of time here. Got about a minute left, but for those that are interested in what you've had to say today, maybe they want to pick your brain about a topic that we didn't get to discuss this morning. What is the best way to communicate with you, whether it's a phone number, an email, or social media?
Hey, I have social media. George Phipps for state rep. I believe my phone number's on there. I have a website, georgephipps.com. Everything I pass out, I try to have my phone number on. If I don't answer, it's because I'm working.
Right.
I do have a full-time job, which has truly been a challenge to a full-time job and this. But hey, if you have questions, reach out to me. Leave me a voicemail. I will get back to you.
Awesome. Anything else before we go? This has been an outstanding interview, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, sir.
Hey, vote early, vote often. No, just kidding.
That's one of my favorite ones right there.
Vote George Phipps, June 16th. I need every vote.
There you go. And you can vote early right now.
That's right. Today and tomorrow, yeah.
That's true. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate you very much for coming in this morning. It is 7:30. I'm pretty sure I have Dr. Lofton coming in studio very shortly. If not, that's all good. We'll be right back. Again, big thank you to Republican candidate George Phipps. He's running for the state representative District 1. All right, guys, here you go. It's my Friday song, Stoney LaRue, Oklahoma Breakdown on Best Country 106. Good morning. That's right. It's time for Laney J's Lowdown as presented by Jay Lindley. Fortunately, I had some trees down between here and DeQueen this morning, so Dr. Lofton will not be able to make it in studio this morning. The SAT. Y'all remember taking that? Did y'all take that? Well, the SAT celebrates its 100th anniversary on June 23rd. 8,000 students took the first test back in 1926, compared to about 2 million annually today. Pew Research analysis shows the average SAT score fell from about 1,059 to 1,006 in the past 50 years, with reading scores dropping nearly 50 points while math declined just 5. Math scores have consistently outpaced reading since 1990. The rival, ACT, was introduced in 1959, shows similar declines from about 20.8 average to now 19.5. My question is, are SAT and ACT tests still, 100 years later, are they still applicable? And what about end of school year testing? Does that need to be revamped? Anyway, that's a whole discussion for itself right there. And more than 1/5 of soccer supporters refuse to date rival team fans. And I'm going to say this will probably translate across the board when it comes to major fans of sports, right? A survey of major soccer enthusiasts found that 38% of potential dates will ask them about their regular attendance to soccer team or games and who their favorite team is. If you don't support the right team or if you don't support enough, it's dolphined. The study revealed about 27% said they would choose watching soccer over dating altogether. Sad but true. So let's say you're a football fan, major, National Football League, or maybe basketball, maybe it's the NBA, whatever. If your love interest is a fan of the rival, what do? Is that okay? Are y'all going to be a house divided from here on out? I just thought it was interesting. There's some people that are that into exactly what their sport, whatever their sporting event, whatever their fave is. There's some people that are that into it, like Cowboys fans. If you're an Eagles fan, might as well not even try today if you're an Eagles fan, or vice versa. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. We'll have to check it out. We've got the impossible question. It's coming up next, chat. Thank you for joining us. Again, thanks again to George Phipps and all the candidates who have come in and interviewed here on the show, giving our listeners a chance. We've actually had somebody on YouTube chime in to every single one of them in the comments on our YouTube channel and say, thank you for interviewing all of these candidates. I haven't been able to get out, so this has been a great way for me to hear from them all. So I thought that was really cool. So, and that's exactly what it's all about. Oklahoma primary election week is here. That's Tuesday, June 16th. Vote early this morning, like 8 o'clock, I think. I'd have to look at the details. Anyway, all right. We have the impossible question up next. Brought to you by Nova. Here's Randy Hauser. We'll be back. Good morning. Oh, yeah, baby. You know what time it is. It's time for the impossible question, brought to you by Nova. They're on Broadway in downtown Broken Bow. Of course, you got to call in to win the prize, my friends. You know the number. If you don't know the number, I'll give it to you right now after I mute TikTok. 584-3388 or 584-3389 or 584-3372. Those are the numbers to call if you want to play the impossible question and win the prize. If you call in, you can win if you get the correct answer. How about that? You ready for this? Oh, today's Friday. We got Truckin' Good Barbecue for you today. 9 miles north of the maze in Ho Chi Town. All right, here we go. Even though 2/3 of Americans say they enjoy these, most of us don't make time for them. What are they? Even though 2/3 of Americans say they enjoy these, most of us just don't make time for them. What are they? 584-3388. If you think you have the correct answer, call in to win some of that Truckin' Good Barbecue. Johnny says vacations. That's a great answer. It's not vacations. It's not rest or naps. That's a great answer. Naps. That fits the category perfectly. Even though 2/3 of Americans say we enjoy these, most of us just don't make time for them. What are they? Let's go to this line here. Good morning. What's your answer?
Movies.
Movies. That's actually a really good answer. Not what we're looking for. Backwoods says kids. I'm trying to save your life. It's not kids. That's a great answer. Let's go to this line here. Good morning. What's your answer?
Donuts.
Donuts. You got to make time for donuts. It's not donuts. Lily, trying to save your life, says health food. It's not health food. Mace says grandparents. That's a great answer, Mace. You probably don't make the appropriate amount of time for your grandparents. You only have so much time with them. I heard it this way. I'll give you a quick insight into reverse time really quickly. Let's say you have an 80-year-old grandma or grandpa, right? And you expect that they're in decent health, but not perfect health. You expect they have about 5 more years, right? Let's say they live 2 states away or a few hours away, and you really only go see them 2 or 3 times a year. Well, if they have 5 years left, If you reverse that and say, you don't now say, I have 5 years to go visit my grandparent before they pass. You say, I have 10 total visits left to see my grandparents. When you put it that way, you may up the amount of times you go see them. If you think about it that way, if you see them twice a year and they have about 5 years left, you're going to see them 10 more times. That's crazy. Go see your grandparents. That's a great answer. Not what we're looking for today, though. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Dane says walks. That's a great answer. Christy also says donuts. What are y'all thinking about? I know what y'all's thinking about. All right, let's go to this line here. Good morning. What's your answer?
Road trips.
Road trip. One of my favorites. Not it. It's not road trips, but that's a great answer. All right, we don't have anything up there to save your life. Give us your answers in the chat for those life-saving responses here. Even though 2/3 of Americans say they enjoy these, most of us just don't make the time for them. What are they? It's not breakfast. It's not a food of any kind. It's not a food of any kind. I'm going to call it entertainment value. Catrice, yes, take the time for your grandparents. You know that is right. Thank you. It's not movies, but that's a great answer, Big Red. It's not sleep, Alyssa, but that's a great answer. You don't have to spam your answers. Shelly says movies as well. It's not that. Sunflower says gardening. That's a great answer. Charlie says date night. Renee also, great answers. Family reunions coming in from Randon. That's a great answer. Sarah says concerts. That's a great answer. Lots of great answers coming in. Let's go to this line here. Good morning. What's your answer? Books. I'd say that's probably the closest answer we've had because you can do that right there at home or whatever. But a lot of this is done at home. Great answers. Not exercise. It's not video games, HTX dude, but that's a great answer. Let's go to this line here. Good morning. What's your answer?
Reading your Bible.
Reading your Bible. That's a great answer. I love it. It's not puzzles. Lori trying to save your life with puzzles. That's a great answer. It's not golf. It's not going to be a sport of any kind. Reading your Bible, reading a book, that would be the closer answers because of one thing. You're physically manipulating something. It's not the library. It's a great answer. It's not shower. Hopefully shower daily. Quiet time. It's a great answer. This doesn't lend to quiet time, though. Again, this has lots of entertainment value, especially for families. Even though 2/3 of Americans say they enjoy these, most of us just don't make the time for them. But they are making a comeback. We got the correct answer up on social media, it looks like. Yep, got the correct answer on social media on both sides, Facebook and TikTok. Yup. Y'all figuring it out now. Y'all are getting it. Ooh, the lighting was beautiful just now outside. All right, let's go to this phone line. Good morning. What's your answer?
Board games.
It's board games. Yes. Who do we have on the phone?
Hey, this is George Phipps.
Hey, congratulations, George. Well, you just won yourself some trucking good barbecue.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Thank you for playing, and you have a wonderful day.
You too. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye. And I know George wants to put out there, hey, guys, make sure you get out there and vote on Tuesday. But, hey, maybe you're not going to be available on Tuesday. That's okay, because you can vote right now. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I was going to pull up this local news tab because I just wanted to make sure I give you the information exactly how I should. I didn't want to mess up any information here. But we do have, here it is. Early voting began yesterday, my friends. Early voting began yesterday. Says here, early voting is available today from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. and tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the McCurtain County Election Board. That's located at 104 North Central, all right? There you go. Kelly Donaldson reminds voters that early voting is not available at the polling locations. So, again, at the election board office, again, a big shout out to Kelly Donaldson sending that information over to us. We appreciate you. If you need assistance to vote because you're visually disabled or have physical disabilities, then they've got you covered there as well. So, again, for any questions, you're welcome to contact the election board, 580-286-7405, or McCurtain County at elections@ok.gov. There you go. Exciting times, election season. Many families will be waiting up Tuesday evening to see how those numbers turn out. And I remember doing that. It was 15 years, well, what's 2026? It was about 17 years ago on the campaign trail. But so that I could see how that, that night is definitely one of anticipation. So Tuesday night will be, all of that will be going down. Can't wait. It's a lot of culmination. But then again, if you have a runoff, nothing's done. You may have the runoffs and all that good stuff. So it may not be completely over with, but one segment down. All right, we'll be back. It's Jay and Laney J Live. That's right. Put your hands together. Best Country 106. It's Jay and Laney J Live. I'm Jay Wesley Lindley, your host, hanging out with you this week. Laney J will be back on Monday, my friends, and we're so excited to have her back in studio. Hey, big shout out to Baptiste School Reunion, the old Settlers Reunion, you know. That's going to be tomorrow. Doors open at 4 p.m., potluck at 5 p.m., featuring the classes that end in 6, my friends. That's right. Class of 76, it's your 50th anniversary of graduation. Yeah, make you feel old on now in class of 76. Hey, but all former Baptiste students and their families are welcome. So they'd love to see you all there at the Baptiste School for that old Settlers Reunion. I love it. So exciting. And again, we mentioned earlier, but early voting is going on now. Polls opened the election board office opened up at 8 a.m. So you'll be able to vote today through 6 p.m. and tomorrow 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the McCurtain County Election Board office located there at 104 North Central in Idabel. You can find that information on our website, seokradio.com. What else? Well, if you are we've talked about the fact that not a whole lot of Americans are getting behind the, the Stanley Cup? No, not Stanley Cup, sorry. My bad. FIFA World Cup, yeah. So apparently the U.S. men's national team takes on Paraguay in the first game, and now all of a sudden people are cheering on American victory. There you go. Let's go, USA! 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 Yes, I did say the Stanley Cup. You had to bring that up. It's the World Cup. My bad. I was trying to think of it real quickly because I did not have the name in front of me, and I don't watch it really, so. Yes, make fun of me all you want. I don't care. All right, 12 minutes after 8 a.m. We talked about this a little bit ago last year, how people are now talking about how they would rather spend money on experiences rather than stuff. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, so stay tuned. No Are You Smarter Than Jay Lindley today because no Laney J to ask the questions. And I got some very big news to announce. You guys know our good friend here, a good friend of the morning show, Browning Snyder. He said, the last time we interviewed Browning, he said we were the very first morning show to ever play his music on the radio. So I think that's huge and awesome. And I have some even bigger news for you. He had a single drop today. So Browning Snyder will be our local musician spotlight this morning at 8:55. Now, I do have a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock on the dot, so I'm going to have to cut out as soon as, and I may run that local musician spotlight, the brand new Browning Snyder song. I may run that at a little bit earlier than 8:55 this morning so I can go hit the doctor's office. But other than that, I got this other song from Browning Snyder. Y'all remember the one? The one that started it all for the man? Take me back to Oklahoma. Here it is on Bass Country 106. Good morning! Bass Country 106, Low Cash. I love this life. It's Jay and Laney J live. Thanks for joining us. It's not a bad Friday. I know it's been raining and all that stuff, but it could be worse. Could have made some bad thunderstorms, things of that nature. So it has been pretty mild, not too shabby. Experts say people have transitioned from spending more money on stuff to spending more money on experiences. The new trend says concerts, vacations, sporting events, and weekend getaways are outpacing big retail purchases this summer. Says, my question to you today is, if somebody handed you $2,000 right here, cash money, walking down the street, somebody handed you $2,000, cash money, would you buy stuff with it? Or would you travel, go on vacation? I don't know. I'm interested. Maybe buy some land. There you go. Little investment. You can't buy anything for $2,000 these days. Here's Tyler Hubbard. We'll be back. Hi, it's time for the mashup of the news. We'll do the birthday drawing Monday morning when Laney J gets here. I tried to mess with her computer, and it was like, I don't even know the password. No, I'm kidding. The Sandlot. The whole cast is reuniting for a new baseball comedy series called Dugout Dads. Says stars Patrick Renna is going to be the main character, if you will, on this one. Says he's coaching his children's Little League team while managing difficult parents and coaches. So Dugout Dads. It's the Sandlot cast reuniting for this baseball comedy series. That's interesting. I'll have to check it out at least once. Says Tim Allen revealed a Home Improvement reboot remains stuck due to personality problems with actors who played his TV sons. They keep talking about how it could move forward, but they get stuck because there are some personality problems right now with the boys, Allen told US Weekly. The ABC sitcom ran 8 seasons from 91 to 99. Zachary Ty Bryan, who played the eldest son Brad, faces multiple arrests, including a 2025 domestic violence charge and a 2021 felony assault accusation. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who portrayed Randy, quit acting and hasn't appeared on screen since 2015's Last Man Standing. Taron Noah Smith, the youngest son, Mark, last acted in 1999's Batman Beyond. Said they've got their own issues, Allen said. I've always thought it could be cool if it was a story about them. That's a little challenging right now, to put it mildly. So, and then Steven Spielberg revealed that the James Bond franchise repeatedly rejected him as a director. Said they constantly turned me down despite multiple attempts to direct the film in the franchise. So, hey, even Steven Spielberg doesn't get everything he wants, I guess, or at least not immediately. And then, of course, in the music news, I thought this was interesting. Jacob Noel told Billboard that fans likely won't see another album from him with Sublime after Until the Sun Explodes releases today. The son of original singer Bradley Noel joined veterans Eric Wilson and Bud Gaw in 2023, creating the band's new lineup. Their collaborations produced chart-topping alt-rock some singles as well. Says here, the album is a one-off. Uh-oh. Interesting. All right, so there you go. The son of the original there in Sublime says one and done with that crew. Interesting. All right, that's going to do it for the mesh-up of the news. Again, stick around about 15 minutes from now. Looks like, about 15 minutes from now, we've got the brand spanking new music from Browning Snyder, the single called Who's She Calling Daddy. We'll be playing that for the first time here on the show this morning. Looking forward to that. Did you know one thing, though? Did you know? That's right. It's Friday. Thank you, Aaron Tippin, Bass Country 106, Jay and Laney J live. 20 minutes till the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Oh, man. It's been a great Friday morning. I hope you're a little drier than, it's raining pretty good out there right now. Got a pretty good system across the area, dumping some rain. A little bit of cloud-to-ground lightning associated with this storm, but other than that, I really haven't had a little wind as well, some high winds. Now, over across the state line in Arkansas, they had some trees down across some main roadways, so they did get a little bit more than we did over there. But as of right now, it seems like we haven't had any updates that say that there's some. Oh, wait a minute, just got this in. Luke Fada Trail and Luke Fada Fork roads are currently barricaded due to high water, according to Hochatown Fire Department. So again, Luke Fada Trail and Luke Fada Fork roads are currently barricaded due to high water. So if you're headed that way, Hochatown Fire Department just let us know that those are currently barricaded due to high water. 41 minutes after 8 a.m., still got that brand new Browning Snyder. I'll be debuting here in about 8 minutes and some change. So stay tuned for that. Everybody is having issues with passwords. Apparently, an incline in password forgetting. People, and I think that has to do with the fact that we're getting hacked more and more, so we got to change our passwords more and more. And we don't like to change passwords. That's just all there is to it. Straight up. Passwords. Continuously forgetting them. I don't know why. I'm forgetting passwords left and right. Matter of fact, there's a password on this computer over here. I forgot it. It took me like 10 minutes to log into this thing earlier. I know, it's probably old age. We'll be back. Got some Kane Brown featuring Marshmallow. There you go, little Kane Brown with Marshmallow Miles on it. Bass Country 106, it's Jay and Laney J live. 15 minutes till the top of the hour. I do have a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock, so I'm going to cut out of here about 5 minutes from now. But I will line up some Browning Snyder's newest release for y'all to listen to that as we roll on out of the day. So fun, so exciting. It's been a great day, though. Thank you so much, everybody that's joining us. Your Friday debate, is the hot dog a sandwich? Have we figured that one out yet? That's small town radio for you right there. I was just on TikTok earlier chatting with a fellow radio morning show host, and we were talking about things. Small town. I was talking about how the PD breathing down your neck or the music director breathing down your neck as a DJ, and he said, "Well, I'm those guys too. So if I've got a problem with me, then I've got a problem." I get that. I get that too. Very much a small town radio type situation there. You wear many hats in the building. Yes, Browning Snyder is coming up, so stay tuned for that. Again, in just about 4 minutes, I've got your Browning Snyder. If your kid is already saying, I'm bored, just weeks into the summer, what is one thing you do that mitigates that boredom for your child? Did some local events. Thank you for the reminder, though. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Did some local events. Again, Baptiste School Reunion is tomorrow. Doors open at 4. Potluck at 5. Class of 76, it's your year. They would love to see all former Baptiste students and their families. And don't forget, guys, we've been talking about Blanc's odds and ends quite a bit here on the show. And there's something that I ran across just a minute ago, posted 2 days ago. You need to go follow them on their Facebook page because they give updates every day. And you never know if something that walks in the door there at Blanc's Odds and Ends will be something you're looking for. Like this, queen-size mattresses starting at only $280 even. Stop by, see Blanc's Odds and Ends for the lowest prices on all your furnishing needs. That's 1506 South Park Drive here in Broken Bow. They open up at 10 a.m. this morning, so about an hour and 10 minutes away they'll be opening up. Saturdays they're open from 10 to 2. If you have any questions, 584-6340. It's Blanc's Odds and Ends. Of course, they've got BJ in there with all the handyman stuff you could possibly need. Ryan in there with Savage Drain Cleaning. They got it all. Moving, they can, if you're trying to move some stuff from one place to another, they can come in there and take care of that for you as well. Again, Blanc's Odds and Ends on Facebook. And I was talking yesterday about that Candy Mountain Timber. Man, if y'all haven't seen this Candy Mountain Timber, you got to go check it out. I saw the video of it yesterday. I think I saw it from Blanc's Odds and Ends on Facebook. It's these beautiful like mantle pieces, like huge pieces of different types of wood, different colors and different cuts. It's really pretty stuff. So again, that's Blanc's Odds and Ends. They've got Candy Mountain Timber along with a huge shipment of Serta queen-size mattresses there at Blanc's Odds and Ends. Of course, you know where it's at. It's the old Glenn's Furniture location. Buy, sell, and trade. They've got so much stuff, such a large place. It's Blanc's Odds and Ends. On that note, it is about that time, not to break forth the rhythm and the rhyme, but I told you I'd go and play the local musician spotlight a little early today, and I will be doing that coming up after this last break we have in the show, and then we're going to get out of here. Browning Snyder, Who's She Calling Daddy, up next. And I'm going to get out of here. Have a wonderful Friday. I got a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock. That's why I'm cutting out of here like right now. And then I will see you Monday morning. Laney J joins the show again tomorrow as well. Yes, brand spanking new Browning Snyder, Who's She Calling Daddy, released today, up next. That's going to do it. Have a great day. Peace off, and God bless you all. Bye.